check, check. Check, 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 check. Check. I have not had good luck with monitoring. Checking, check, 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 check. There we go. Nine minutes. That's weird. The audio's coming through my computer. Oh no, through Lynn's computer. Yay! We should... Teely Cubed, we're not going to do youth via Zoom. We're going to do youth again via Discord, because Discord offers the same functionality as Zoom, except it's better. For some reason. But fear not, we have plans. It's going to be good. Do, 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 do. under a minute. This music's dope. It does have a little bit of a Christmassy vibe. No, I haven't. I finally have friends on Roblox, though, which is nice. Hi, Kristen. Oh, man, I wasn't paying attention to the countdown. Oh, no. That was cool. Hey, guys. How you doing? I should talk out there because you're out there. Hey. Oh, man. Wow. I'm really excited for YouthTube tonight because there's some really cool stuff coming up tonight. Like a special guest, because I have my friends here at Cornerstone Church. We are socially distancing from each other, and we are Cloroxing all the things, which is great. You know, Stefan's gone fancy. No, it's true. I can't take all the credit for it, though, because, again, I now have help. So it's been like a one-person show for a little while, and it's just really good to have like things in my hand and not be tied down to the computer so much. So I'm so glad you guys are here with me. We're going to have some fun tonight. Okay, if you can see the screen that's like floating right up in here, I hope I'm doing that justice. I don't even know because I can't see it. It says, take a selfie while watching, post it on Discord, because while you get to see me and my not so lovely face, I don't get to see yours. So I'd love to be able to see you guys. And I know we have like Selfie Friday. Half a step to my right. My production manager is telling me to move over here. Hey guys. A little too much? There you go. Right here? Oh, good. Hi, guys. Yeah, so post a selfie on Discord. I'm going to get mine right now. Do. So, Gen Chat. Oh, it's kind of like I already did post a selfie. But not really. There we go. Okay. Boom. Done. Let me see what you guys are saying here. What is this witchcraft? Awesome job. Floating screen. And Nani. I'm not sure what that's all about. Okay. So post your screenshots because we all miss seeing you. And it's really helpful for Amy because she doesn't know you guys all that well. And she's a full-fledged leader now. And you guys need to introduce yourselves so she can remember your names. So oh, what is this? Summer is Funner, season 5. Yes, finally. Okay, so there's a lot to be said about Summer is Funner, season 5. Okay, I mean, there's not really a lot to say. What can we say is we'll do it when we're allowed, okay? So, like, as soon as we're allowed to be in person, we'll be in person, okay? So, we're going to have, after tonight, I believe we're going to do 2 more weeks of YouthTube because the weather outside is not frightful. It is delightful, and if you're anything like me, you want to be out there even now. I mean, as nice as YouthTube is, if I wasn't tied down to like cameras and things, I'd be watching YouthTube outside at the very least. So 2 more weeks of YouthTube, which takes us to June the 3rd. And then on June the 5th, the 6th graders will be joining our Discord server. And then I can't do the math in my head to get to the next week, but whatever that next Wednesday night is, that's going to be our first Discord video chat youth night. Okay? So if it's June the 3rd, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I think it's the 10th. I think. Don't do the math for me. It's okay. If you have a calendar, post it, whatever that date is. Can we play board games over video chat? Goodness, I hope so, because I'm going to wreck you all. No, I'm just kidding. But yes, we should, because it'd be super fun. So summer is funner. It's coming. It's almost here, 2 weeks away. What else do we got? A game. I love games. Okay, so this is a really fun game. Here's what we have to do. You're going to see something on the screen. It's going to be an animal, and you need to figure out if that animal is mentioned anywhere in the Bible. Not the Apocrypha, you cheater. Anywhere in the canon Bible, Genesis to Revelation, the middle book of Psalms, that Bible. If that animal is anywhere in the Bible, you say yes or no, okay? So it's real simple. In the chat, you write yes, it's in the Bible. No, it's not in the Bible. If that made sense, type yes. If that doesn't make sense, find your mom for some help, okay? Here we go. Animals of the Bible. Caterpillar. In the Bible, not in the Bible, okay? Yes or no, in the Bible, not in the Bible. Okay, just because Andrew is saying something, don't believe him, because he might be trying to lead you astray, because he does have the answers back there. He assures me that he's not looking at the answers, and I'm going to do my best to believe him. Okay, so I see yeses. I see ahs. Bethany, that's not how you play the game. It's yes or no. Yeses and an IDK, also not how you play the game. It's a yes or a no. And what is it? It's in the Bible, in Psalm 78, verse 46. It says, he gave their crops to the caterpillar and the fruit of their labor, I can't say that word, I'm sorry, to the locust. Oh, we all know locust was in the Bible. Okay, next one. Tiger. In the Bible, not in the Bible. Tiger. Is there a tiger in the Bible? Kristen thinks no. Bethany says yes. Iris's mind is blown. Learning by the end of this, you will learn all kinds of new things. Okay, no, yes, yes, no, not an answer. Andrew's going to get all of them wrong. Okay, here we go. Is a tiger mentioned in the Bible, yes or no? It is not in the Bible. Like, of all the animals, you would have thought, at least I would have thought, tiger would have been in the Bible, but no. Okay. A bear. Bear. In the Bible, not in the Bible. A bear. I need to find a stool because I'm lazy. A bear. Is there a bear in the Bible? Lots of yeses on this one. Bethany is a very emphatic no. Andrew is convinced he absolutely knows this one. Okay, bear in the Bible, not in the Bible. Let's find out. It is in the Bible. Then 2 bears, not just one, came out of the woods and mauled 42 of the boys. Yikes. It's actually a really good story. We'll go there sometime because it's a good story. Okay. Frog. In the Bible, not in the Bible. What say you? Frog. The frogs. In the Bible, not in the Bible. Kate going with a nope. This one is Bethany is sure of herself. Okay. Amy is sure that it is. Okay. Wait, are Lynn and Andrew fighting over this one? Okay, let's find out. It is in the Bible. Psalm 105, verse 30. Their land swarmed with frogs, even in the chambers of their kings. Now, isn't this in an Old Testament story? Like an Exodus story? Like one of the plagues was frogs? Pretty sure it's in there too. Yeah, cough, cough, plagues. Come on. Okay, a zebra. Zebra. A zebra. In the Bible, not in the Bible. Okay, I have to tell you guys what Lynn just said. She said it could be Deborah if you put a D in the front. Oh my. Okay. Zebra. Amy's bad at this. We're learning. This is a learning experience. Jed says no. Ooh, I don't know. Okay, let's find out. Zebra. Is it in the Bible? Is not. Oh, that's so sad. The zebra was left out of the Bible. Okay. The gecko. Is the gecko in the Bible or not in the Bible? Gecko. I do know that it could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Does anyone remember those commercials? It's just me. Competitive learning. I love it. Geico, yeah. Okay, no, don't think so. Gecko. Let's find out. Cut the suspense. Ooh, it's in the Bible in Leviticus 11:30. These are unclean for you. The great lizard, the gecko, the sand lizard. I want to know what a sand lizard is. And a great lizard. I think that would be an awesome pet. Okay, the hawk. Ah! That was my hawk impression. It was sad. Don't applaud it. The hawk. The hawk. Is it in the Bible or is it not in the Bible? The hawk. 2 yeses, 3 yeses. 3 yeses. Some of you are just waiting for other people to answer so you can steal their answer. Come on. Be bold. All right. Lots of yeses. Is anyone a no on this one? Hawk. Jed is a yes. Well, let's find out, Teely Cubed. Let's find out. It is. Job 39:26. It is by your wisdom that the hawk soars and spreads its wings toward the south. Oh, I put the wrong inflection on that. It's a question. Yeah, you can do it. Okay. A kitten. Meow. Meow. Is it in the Bible? Is it not in the Bible? What say you? Andrew says yes. Kristen says no. Iris says no. Amy says C. What? Bethany says Guys, those aren't answers. Ooh, are they? Yeah. Cats don't count. It has to be kitten, not cat. And we already know that tigers aren't in. Okay, Kate says, ye, it is. It gets strangled. What? What? Kate, you have to tell us what story you're thinking of, because I don't remember it. And I feel like it would be a story I'd remember. Okay, kitten. In the Bible, not in the Bible. Let's find out. Not in the Bible. A wolf. How? In the Bible, not in the Bible. The wolf. I still want to know what that story is. Yeah. Okay, the wolf. Is the wolf in the Bible? Yes, but questioning. Andrew says it is. J-Bro says it is. Bethany says maybe. Okay, let's find out. Is the wolf in the Bible? Oh, no. Oh, no. No. We'll never know. Oh, no. We'll never know because I ruined the slides. Oh. That was sheep in wolf's clothing. So the sheep is in it and the wolf's clothing is in the Bible, but not a wolf. No, the wolf's clothing is mentioned. 13 verses about wolves. All right. That's good to know. Andrew is doing research as we speak. Yes, the Good Shepherd. Yeah. Yeah. So definitely yes. Okay, good. We have a definitive yes on the wolf. Okay, let's talk about the rules just for a moment. You guys know the rules. It's not like it's a big surprise. But in case there's anyone else watching, not connected with Cornerstone Youth or anything that we do here at Cornerstone, I just want you to know that this live stream service is provided for the youth of Cornerstone Wesleyan Church and the friends of Cornerstone Wesleyan Church. So in the chat, just be respectful. You feel free to engage, but again, all this is tailor-made for our youth. Thanks so much. I think the next slide is our intro into the lesson time. So with all that aside, the next person that you see should be Lynn.
Hey, everybody, I miss you. It's so great to be back in the building. I feel like I've come home. It's awesome. So before we get started tonight, I'm going to get you to do something right now. Oh. So, while they're trying to troubleshoot something, apparently, what I'd like you to do is, if you've got a Bible, go get it now. And if you have a cell phone and you can go to YouVersion, get that ready. We're going to do some scripture in a little bit. Also with your cell phones or your parents' cell phones if you need to. One of the things you can do is, we have some slides tonight. You can take a picture of that slide and think about it later. All right, so this week we're talking about the big idea being not so typical families forgive each other. So for the last few weeks, we've been talking about families. Some really important families in the Bible, but our own families too. In the stories we've talked about so far, at least one family member has messed up big time. We've heard stories of lies, deceit, disagreement, jealousy, selfishness, and even murder. Can you imagine? I can't. Sure, some of these stories are pretty extreme, but they're not all that different from our own family stories. In every family, there are plenty of opportunities to give and receive forgiveness. So let's do a little poll. And just say it out loud in front of whoever's in the room with you. First thought that comes to your mind, would you rather forgive a sibling for eating your candy or eating your pizza? You got to say it out loud to whoever's in the room. How about forgive a sibling for stealing your money or stealing your friend?
How much money?
$1. Stefan asked how much money. I said $1.
What if you're alone, like only sibling?
Oh, now, if you're an only sibling, then you have an imaginary friend. Or it could be forgive your friend to the peanut gallery in the back. What about, would you rather forgive a sibling for lying to you or lying about you to someone else? And our last one, would you rather forgive a sibling for pushing you down the stairs or embarrassing you in front of your friends? Your atypical family could be even more atypical. We all needed to forgive or be forgiven by a family member. No family is perfect, and don't try and tell me you are, because families are just people, and people are never perfect. In every family, people hurt each other. But when typical families hurt each other, they respond with bitterness or anger or revenge. Atypical families hurt each other too, but instead of pursuing revenge, they pursue forgiveness. We've been saying there is no family God can't use. Your family can be used by God to do atypical things in the world. But how? So what? Why does it even matter to God and to us? I'm going to share a couple of stories. Many of you do have siblings, and maybe this will encourage you to not fight with your siblings so much. So I'm talking about my son and my daughter, and when they were growing up, my son, who was older than my daughter, he liked to poke at her, poke, poke, poke. And one day I wasn't home, and I happened to come home. I did the one thing I wouldn't normally do, is have my kids look after their younger sister. You see, I have twin boys. There was one who looked out for his sister, while the other one liked to poke at his sister. And I always said I would never do that to my kids. So one day, I won't say their names, but the son who liked to poke, he thought my daughter was going to run somewhere, run away. And so he decided to tie her up in a chair, and he put her in the bathroom. So he thought, that's just not good enough. She's tied, and her hands are tied up, okay? She's tied to a chair. She cannot move. And he decides to lock her in the bathroom on top of this. Can you imagine? So as the years go by, that was only one of several incidences, and they each tell their very own version of the story. So needless to say, it was a bit of a rocky road between the two of those growing up. But something happened, because we are the atypical, crazy ones, but we're atypical in that we know God and we know what it means to forgive. And so through all the chaos that happened between the kids growing up, they could have turned out to hate one another, never speak to one another again. And that would be so, so sad, because they didn't take the time to forgive one another. When my daughter got married, one of the things that just brought tears to my eyes is she asked both her brothers to be men of honor. So even though they went through so much history growing up, because they were able to forgive one another, they became even closer. And they get along so much better now because they understood what it meant to forgive one another. And they love one another. They like to hang out together. Mind you, Brad will still poke just a little bit. Sorry, Brad. Not really sorry. So that, and he's a youth pastor, okay? So I've already embarrassed him in front of his youth friends. So he's pretty okay with me talking about him. So by forgiveness, it changed the outcome from what could have happened, which could have been disastrous. And I don't want you guys to not want to be with one another. Sure, you pick at each other once in a while, but make sure if someone does something to you, forgive them. We'll talk a little bit more about that. At some point, we all need to forgive or to be forgiven by our families or our friends. Sometimes forgiving family members is easy, but when a person has deeply hurt us, forgiveness can be much more difficult. Typical families let their hurts and offenses go unresolved until they result in bitterness, broken relationships, or even revenge. But an atypical family, they know their relationships with their families are far too valuable to lose. So far in this series, we've met the family of Adam and Eve, the family of their descendants, Abraham, and the family of Abraham's grandsons, Jacob and Esau. Today, I want to introduce you to another generation of this same family, Jacob's son, Joseph, and his brothers. We've talked about Joseph before, so you may be familiar with some of his story. But today we're going to focus specifically on Joseph's relationship with his family. Let's get a quick overview of Joseph's story, and then we'll look more closely at the details.
The brother. So he devises a plan where he's going to steal it from his father, Isaac, who at this point in the story is now old and blind.
Which, who does that? Horrible, stealing from your blind father.
Yeah, and then he just takes off.
So Jacob goes on from there to have 12 sons, big family. But Jacob loves his 11th son, Joseph, way more than all the others. And so he gives him the special Technicolor dream coat. And his brothers, because of this, come to hate him.
So much so that they plan on killing him.
But they don't. They instead just sell him as a slave down in Egypt.
Now, while in Egypt, through this crazy series of events, Joseph goes from being in a prison cell to becoming the second in command there.
And so later on, the whole Middle East falls into this food shortage. And Joseph's brothers, they come down to Egypt looking for food. And then when they get there, who should they find as the ruler of the whole land?
It's Joseph. that guy they sold into slavery, but he actually saves them from starving to death.
And so here you have it. These are the great grandchildren of Abraham who have done this heinous act to their brother, but God has transformed their evil into something good.
And that's exactly what Joseph says here in the last paragraph of the entire book. He says, you guys planned all of this for evil, but God planned it for good, to save people's lives.
Now, these words, they conclude the book because they actually summarize the message of the whole story so far. Humans keep choosing evil, and we are thinking they're screwing up God's plan, but he keeps turning their evil back into good. And somehow, he's going to use this family to restore humanity back to the garden.
So that's the book of Genesis.
So think about these family dynamics. Let's recap Genesis 37, 1 to 10. Joseph is his father's what? Favorite. And he isn't quiet about it. He kind of likes to flaunt his stuff because he thinks he's all this and that. Then Joseph decides it's a good idea to what? Tell his brothers that someday they will all serve him. Can you imagine if your brother or sister told you you were going to serve them? No, not going to happen. Or they don't think anyway. And then for obvious reasons, so one day, Joseph's brothers are working hard in the fields. Joseph heads out to meet them, wearing, guess what? No surprise, that fancy coat, like he's all this and all that. Of course, rub it in much, Joseph? Everyone turn to Genesis 37, 18 to 36. I want you to understand what was going through the brothers' minds when they sold Joseph into slavery. I'll give you a couple of minutes. Again, it's Genesis 37, 18 to 36. So who would like to read it for me? Raise your hand if you'd like to read that for us. Bethany, did you volunteer? Oh, Molly, you want to read. Okay, perfect. I'm waiting. Hello? Oh, that's right, you're not here. Sorry, I really miss you guys. All right, so let's read Genesis 37, 18 to 36. Here comes the dreamer, they said. I turn now?" Then they got Joseph's robe, slaughtered a goat, and dipped the robe in the goat's blood. They took the ornamented robe back to their father and said, "We found this. Examine it to see whether it's your son's robe." He recognized it and said, "It is my son's robe. Some ferocious animal has devoured him. Joseph has surely been torn to pieces." Then Jacob tore his clothes, put on sackcloth, and mourned him for his son many days. All his sons and daughters came to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. "No," he said in mourning, "will I go down to the grave to my son." So his father wept for him. Meanwhile, the Midianites sold Joseph into Egypt to Potiphar, one of Pharaoh's officials, the captain of the guard. So imagine you and your siblings are outside, you're maybe raking the leaves for your parents, you're hot, and you'd really like to have a break. But while you're hard at work, your brother or your sister, your dad's favorite, comes striding over to you wearing his fanciest and most expensive clothes while you're covered in sweat and dirt. Clearly, he has not come to lend you a hand. Joseph's brothers are so tired of Joseph. Can't blame them. His attitude, his favorite status, and his dreams about how he would someday be their ruler. In anger and jealousy, they throw Joseph into a well, stage his death, and then sell him into slavery. I've needed to forgive family members before, but I've never had to forgive anyone for something like this. Joseph may have had an attitude problem, just a bit, but this kind of retaliation from his brothers, that's just plain cruel. You already know how the story ends. Joseph saves the lives of his brothers, and he forgives them for what they did to him. Joseph does this. But when their father Jacob dies, all of a sudden the brothers get scared Joseph will change his mind and try to get revenge. They know they haven't deserved the unforgiveness and kindness Joseph has given to them. In Genesis 50, 19 to 21, I'll just read that right quick. Let's see here. But Joseph said to them, "Don't be afraid. Am I in the place of God? You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. So then, don't be afraid. I will provide for you and your children." And he reassured them and spoke kindly to them. Joseph had every reason to be angry at his brothers, but Joseph chose forgiveness instead of bitterness. So we're going to put a couple of questions on the screen. I want you to take a minute or two just to think about them. It's a good time to take your phone, take a picture. If you were Joseph, how would you have felt about your brothers? How do you think you would have responded when they needed help? Just think about that for a moment. God has forgiven you for so much. So give some of that forgiveness to each other. The kind of forgiveness Joseph showed his brothers isn't typical. It's hard to understand it. But that's the kind of forgiveness God has shown to us through Jesus. Throughout this series, we've been saying that if you want God to use your family to do atypical things, sometimes you have to be the first person in your family to do something atypical. That's what Joseph did. And it's what Jesus teaches us to do. When you've been hurt by someone in your family or a friend, the typical response is to get bitter or take revenge. But Joseph chose to do the atypical thing. He showed his brothers forgiveness, kindness, and compassion. Not so typical families forgive each other. So, now what? What does God want us to do about it? Atypical families, they forgive each other. In just a second, I'm going to share some action steps we can all take towards forgiveness. But first, I want to acknowledge that this conversation might be confusing to some people in this room. You might have a family member who has hurt you so deeply or so repeatedly that the idea of forgiving them, like Joseph forgave his brothers, it seems impossible. Let me be clear. If anyone in your family or not in your family has hurt you or continues to hurt you, physically, emotionally, or sexually, this conversation is not for you. If this is your story, God is not telling you to move on, be nice to them, or protect them from the consequences of their actions. That's not the point of this conversation. If this is your story, here's what I want you to do. Tell an adult today. Don't hesitate. In just a minute, we're going to spend some time thinking and reflecting. Someone would love to talk to you during that time so we can help you walk through this. Reach out to a parent or to a leader. They're here for you. Now, if that's not your story, let's keep talking. Just like forgiveness changed Joseph and his family for the better, being eager to forgive can change your family for the better too. So, how do you forgive a family member when they've hurt you? Forgiveness doesn't have to be complicated. It could be as simple as admitting you've been hurt, telling God you need help to forgive them, asking God to heal the parts of your heart that have been hurt, choosing to focus on moving forward instead of what's happened in the past, and forgiving yourselves and asking for forgiveness, if you need to, for the part you played in what has happened. And I will have this put in Discord tonight so that it's an easy reminder and you can check there. And hopefully that will help you a little bit going forward. Think right now about a family member you need to forgive. Now imagine how you and your family could be transformed if you were willing to choose forgiveness over bitterness or revenge. Forgiveness can change your attitude or perspective. Forgiveness could change the person you're fighting with. Forgiveness could begin to change your family's pattern of behavior in the long term. All for the better. Forgiveness is tough, but isn't it amazing that we get to forgive others in the same way God has forgiven us? Forgiveness is something we can offer to those who have hurt us, but it's also a gift we give ourselves. Unforgiveness leaves us feeling bitter and angry and closed off to others. But when we let God help us forgive, we find healing, hope, and freedom. And we feel so much better. In the next few minutes, here's what I'd like you to do. Who is someone in your family, it could be a friend you need to forgive? Why do you want to forgive that family member? And pray for them. And then, how do you think forgiving that person could have a positive impact on you and your family? There is a slide up. You can take a picture Again, I'll have this slide in Discord as well. Just take a few minutes now and think of who that could be, that someone, and pray for them. As we wrap up, don't be typical. We've talked about a lot of difficult things in the last few weeks. That's because our families can be pretty difficult sometimes. But our imperfect families aren't hopeless. Like Adam and Eve, not so typical families can be used by God. Like Abraham and Lot, not so typical families pray for each other. Like Jacob and Esau, not so typical families have tough conversations. And like Joseph and his brothers, not so typical families forgive each other. It's not your job to fix your family. Did you catch that? It's not your job to fix your family. But if you want to see your family be used by God to do atypical things in this world, you have a role to play. Pray for your family. Have those tough conversations with your family. And forgive your family. When it comes to your family, don't be typical. Stefan, would you like me to close in prayer, or do you have something to share?
You can go ahead and close us in prayer.
All right, everyone. It was amazing to be back home, as I call it. Hopefully we'll get to see you soon. If you have prayer requests, put them in the chat for us or put them over in the Discord chat so that we can pray for you through the week. And I'll just close this in prayer now. And I believe they're going to Discord perhaps from there. Although maybe we should get a word from Andrew hiding in the booth. He should come say hi. Oh, come on, Andrew. I'll say the prayer that gives you time to walk up. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to be here, to be able to speak into the lives of these youth. We're so thankful for them, and we're so thankful that we have the social media so that we're able to talk to these kids and, share your word and keep connected with them in these times of COVID-19. I just ask that you would help these kids retain what they've been learning and know that when they want to maybe be brave and they're just not sure how, to remember that they can talk to you, Lord, and they can ask for your help. And God, I just want to thank you for the beautiful weather we've got, that the kids can get outside now. We've got bubble families so that they can at least go visit somebody. So that's pretty exciting, Lord. And we just trust that you're working in each and everyone's lives. We thank you for all you do for us. In your precious name, amen. And there's a special guest on his way up. I'm going to slide out so he can slide in.
Well, this is kind of weird.
I know it is.
It's like
you
half,
need to
half
feel.
over. Yeah, that was awkward.
Isn't it?
Hi,
weird,
guys.
though?
Yeah, I'm talking to people, and I don't know, I just have to imagine everybody sitting there. I miss you all. Can't wait to get back in person. That barbecue pit little thing on just when Stefan posted the summer is funner. It's just very appetizing right now. So I miss you guys all. We have to have fun with games and whatever and get together, even if it's not through youth, over the summertime whenever we can. But yeah, look forward to seeing you all. Wave back. How long does a wave can happen before it becomes awkward?
Want to see yourself?
Oh, I know I can see myself. Yeah. I can do this for 10 minutes.
It's almost like a bobblehead, but it's a bobble hand. We can't wait to have you back.
Okay. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. Take care. We'll see you later.